Here we are on a, I don't know, what is it, Wednesday night. Had a day of fighting with WCAT, talking to lawyers, stuff like that, but I think what this really comes down to is what should be done and what you should do when you seriously get hurt. Medical files aren't done properly. I didn't really pay attention to what had happened to me. Scared of knowing or realizing what had happened to me. Fighting, still fighting. It's a fight that, sorry to say, if you get hurt seriously at work, it's a fight that you have to understand that it is a fight. And it's something that you really have to get more involved, because if I would have known the stuff I know now, and people told me, but I wasn't listening, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It's got to be forced into your head. Yes, you have to pay deep, huge attention to yourself in the beginning stages of your injuries. You must talk to your doctors. I complained about my back on a few occasions, mentioned it, thought it was because of old injuries. Oh, it's not that bad. We find out basically a year later I have 3 herniated discs lower spine. L3, L4 is a disc herniation with a nerve impingement. L4, L5 is herniated by an MRI. L5, S1 is herniated with a nerve impingement. All denied because apparently I didn't talk too much about it until I think it was January. I mentioned it to my doctor. I fell June 23rd. I got out of the hospital in July. I spent 30 days at home. I saw the doctor, I think, maybe 5 or 6 times in those 5 months. I can't really remember. It was a very traumatic part of time of my life. I didn't drive. I had a cab account everywhere. It's pretty much dealing with the fact what had happened to me. Mentioned in my physio, I had massage therapy for 5 months, 6 months. So why would I complain about my back when I go for massage on it every day? Which is documented on files, but I'll see where that goes. What I'm saying here is you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. You have to document your files. You got to get everything down properly. You have to... I'm actually at home. I lie on a heating pad. Pillows. Comfort. Not feeling too well. That's why I'm lying down. Figured I'd maybe voice some opinions and try and give what's happened to me, what's going on. It's been quite a battle. Protesting. I protested everywhere. I protested out in Surrey on the off-ramp, on-ramp going over the Patella Bridge for 3 hours handing out pamphlets and signs. I even got that in my logs, the days I protested. Protest at Thunderbird Stadium got shut down out there by I guess that was RCMP and Burnaby campus. I mean SFU camp, UBC. But Granville Street, got arrested, thrown in jail. I got assaulted. I'm going to court on that July 17th of 2008. After telling the officer I was disabled not to touch me, grabbed my left hand. I'm hypersensitive. I, of course, pulled back because my hand, I can't handle wind. I don't know if I explained this to you. Wind hurts my hand. I always walk with it behind me. It's always freezing cold, or right now it's like ice cold. So when I have a headache, I can actually hold my hand on my head and go, relieve that headache, which is pretty much all the time. Anyway, so I was assaulted by VPD, thrown in jail overnight, let out, spent 3 weeks at a friend's house out in Maple Ridge. Buddy of mine, Kenny, another injured worker, kind of helped, looked after me, him and his girlfriend, and another buddy of him. I lied there for 3 weeks, in so much pain, eating painkillers like crazy, lots of Oxycontin, Superdolls, and everything else. At that point, I just became homeless. They just tore down my house. WCB was not paying me, so I was on welfare. Social assistance was giving me $215 a month to live on. because I did not have a place to live. I couldn't find a place to live at $375, so I had to afford a storage locker at $340 a month. First dollar was free. Good guys at the storage locker. That was all good. I kind of lived out of my storage locker. I lived at Trout Lake. I stayed behind my house up in the alley. I lived in my truck there. You found your different locations. Most of the time it was Trout Lake. Trout Lake seemed to be the spot for me. Stayed at a friend's house for a couple weeks. It was August, September till October 14th. I moved into the house I'm in here with right now. Moved in here with my girlfriend at that point. An awesome lady. My injuries and what I go through and stuff like that, it's a little much for someone to deal with right now. I have a lot on my plate. I got real no future right now. Don't know what I'm doing. Can't really concentrate that much. But I mean, I am walking. I kind of more or less prefer to be right here, right now. I'm not feeling too good, but anyways. Getting back to what we were talking about, I do jump around quite a bit. Lots of concentration stuff, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that. So, basically, my fight has been persisting. I called WCB basically on a daily basis for months on end when I lived in my vehicle. My therapy at that point, I came off my pharmaceutical drugs while living in my truck. The pain was pretty bad. Suicide was on my mind on a lot of occasions, but I figured if I did that, they would win. And yeah, I go through a lot of pain, but you have to be strong because this is what they want. I know when I had my signs out and stuff like that, at that point there was 18 suicides in a period of 3 years, or 18 related suicide deaths related to WorkSafe B.C, 18 suicide pails or something that was printed in the province. They push. I mean, when people like myself, when you're seriously injured, multiple injuries, extreme trauma. What was that? Grossly unstable burst fracture of the C6. My recovery is unremarkable. They're amazed that I'm walking. My doctors, the look on their face when I first walked in, when I went into physio, they even said like they didn't even want to come near me. I was in a wheelchair and I wanted to get better. I exercised so much. I got in trouble. I was told not to exercise so much. I would get out of my wheelchair, lie on the ground, and I had a tensor bandage. I had exercise mat. I had an exercise ball, and I took flex rolls, a few T3s. I took beautiful brownies, which were cannabis infused. Those helped me so much with muscle relaxation, and that was the beginning stages. And then once I started getting, I guess, more or less a little bit more mobile, after I had Meals on Wheels brought to my house, I had a nurse kind of come by daily, drive me around, get me into wheelchairs. I had surgery on my teeth, $8,000 worth of teeth work done. I think it is. I broke 2 root canals on this side, 1 on this side, because all the teeth were broken underneath my jawline. I have no taste buds in the left side of my mouth, but that, of course, is not on any paper. Well, it's on paperwork, but it's not accepted or denied. They're just kind of letting that, whatever. But